The African diaspora is more powerful than you've ever imagined. Over the centuries, African descendants have quietly shaped economies around the world, from the fields of the American South to today's tech industries. But why don't we talk about it more? And how does the African diaspora's economic influence continue to shape the global market today? Let's look into the hidden history and the massive contributions of African descendants globally. From the slave trade to the modern-day diaspora, we'll see how their influence spans continents, building economies, sharing knowledge, and even driving innovation. So how exactly did the African diaspora help build wealth worldwide, and what does this mean for Africa's future? Let's get into the real truth about the African diaspora's global economic impact, and why it's more important now than ever before. The global economic influence of the African diaspora didn't start recently. It goes back to the days of the Atlantic slave trade. Millions of Africans were forcibly taken from their homelands and sold into slavery, especially in the Americas. While this was an unimaginable tragedy, it's important to remember the huge role African labor played in shaping the global economy. African slaves were the backbone of industries like sugar, cotton, and tobacco, which became the foundation for modern economies in the US, the Caribbean, and parts of Europe. Without their forced labor, these industries would not have grown so rapidly or at all. African slaves helped build economies that continue to prosper today, but most people rarely think about their role in this. What's often left out of history books is the fact that this labor wasn't just about economic power in the past. It had long-lasting effects on the global economy, trade, and industry across continents. This African diaspora has also led to the development of racist ideologies as Europeans try to justify their actions. This racial bias locked Africans and their descendants into a cycle of inequality that they are still facing today. Yet, despite all of this, the African diaspora kept making major contributions to global economies, contributions that go far beyond just physical labor. African descendants didn't just contribute through physical labor, they also made significant intellectual contributions. Leaders from the African diaspora, like Webb Du Bois and Marcus Garvey, played a massive role in shaping political movements that fought for the rights and dignity of Africans and people of African descent. These thinkers didn't just change the way people thought about race, they also fought for economic empowerment. The intellectual power of the African diaspora was not limited to political thought. Many individuals contributed to advancements in science, medicine, arts, and education in countries around the world. People like Martin Luther King Jr. not only worked for civil rights, but also highlighted economic inequalities, pushing for changes that would benefit everyone. Even today, descendants of the African diaspora continue to inspire and lead in a variety of fields. From arts to business, they are pushing boundaries and contributing to global knowledge. These intellectual contributions are just as important as the labor that helped build the economies of many nations. Today, the African diaspora still plays a huge role in the economic development of Africa itself. With millions of people of African descent living abroad, many of them send money back home, known as remittances. This money is often used for basic needs like education, healthcare, and infrastructure. In fact, remittances from the African diaspora contribute billions of dollars to African economies every year, making a huge difference in the lives of families and communities. But it's not just about money. The modern African diaspora is also sharing knowledge, skills, and connections that can help Africa grow. Many professionals in fields like technology, healthcare, and education are eager to return home or help from abroad. This brain drain that once seemed like a loss for Africa is now turning into a brain gain as more people find ways to give back to the continent. Countries like Ghana, Nigeria, and Kenya are recognizing this and setting up systems to engage with their diaspora. The African Union has also started creating more programs that encourage the diaspora to invest in Africa's future. The idea is that if the diaspora can help drive innovation, start businesses, and create jobs, Africa can become an economic powerhouse. Even though the African diaspora has made huge contributions globally, there's still a big gap between Africa and its descendants. Many people in the diaspora feel distant from their African roots, while some African countries haven't fully embraced their diaspora communities. This disconnect leads to missed opportunities for sharing culture, ideas, and wealth, which could benefit both Africa and the diaspora. One way to bridge this gap is through more programs that connect the diaspora back to Africa. Ghana's Year of Return is a great example where people in the diaspora were encouraged to visit and reconnect with their heritage. Other countries could create similar programs, offering ways for people to invest in businesses, support local communities, and engage with their roots. Governments can also make it easier for the diaspora to invest in Africa by simplifying processes and providing more opportunities. At the end of the day, it's about more than money. It's about reconnecting with where you come from. Both sides need to work together to close the gap and create stronger ties for a better future. Africa's economies are growing fast, with more countries showing strong development in areas like technology and renewable energy. This growth opens up big opportunities for the African diaspora to play a role in building Africa's future. So how can they get involved? More people from the diaspora are starting businesses, investing in local companies, and helping governments with new projects. They have a unique advantage because they understand both Africa and the global market. This allows them to contribute in ways that are meaningful and impactful. But it's not just about business. The diaspora is also pushing for Africa's voice to be heard on the global stage. Whether it's fighting for better trade deals or pushing for more investments, the African diaspora is stepping up to ensure that Africa gets the attention it deserves in the world economy. The African diaspora has always faced challenges, from racism and colonialism to economic inequality. But despite all of that, they've continued to fight for better opportunities and recognition. The struggle has been long, but progress is being made. One of the ways the diaspora is overcoming these challenges is by building strong, supportive networks. This means starting businesses that help uplift the community, investing in each other, and teaching younger generations about financial success. Many are doing this through Black-owned businesses and mentorship programs that focus on economic empowerment. The path hasn't been easy, but the progress is clear. The diaspora is finding ways to push back against oppression by working together, creating wealth, and empowering future generations. There's still more to be done, but the strength of the community is a powerful tool in overcoming these obstacles. The African diaspora's contributions to the world are immense, both historically and today. From building global economies to making lasting cultural and intellectual impacts, the diaspora has shaped the world in countless ways. And as Africa continues to rise, the role of the diaspora is only becoming more important. If you're curious to learn more about these untold stories, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We've got many more interesting topics coming your way, so stay tuned and we will see you in the next video.